Okay, just what I remember from 9/11. So I was very young at the time, just 3 years old actually, and I was going to pre-K at the time. My pre-K was in the World Trade Center complex, but that morning I was running late to school. My mom says I was like being really fussy and like taking forever. So we ended up still being in our apartment at when the first plane hit. And our we live in Battery Park City, and our apartment on the 40th floor has a direct view of the World Trade Center. So I remember vaguely like just the visual imagery of the ball of fire coming from the buildings, and I think I was like watching like cartoons at the time. So it was a jarring transition to see go from the cartoons to seeing what was right outside my window, because our window had a literally direct view of the Twin Towers. I think for my mom is even more scary, but she was thinking about like what to do to get to safety after she realized it was after she saw the second plane hit and realized it was when it was a deliberate attack. She didn't know how what would happen, but she was worried like things would get worse. So she thought it would be safer for us to go, because we live in Battery Park City. It was hard to go east because we were west of the World Trade Center. So she thought it would be safer to go south, to go towards the water. So we went down to this park next to Battery Park called Wagner Park, and there we waited with thousands of other people to be evacuated by boat. So we didn't know that we didn't know that boats would come to evacuate us, but there were a lot of boats that just volunteered to pick up people who were waiting there, and eventually all of us got onto the boat, and were taken to New Jersey. And my cousin also lived in New York at the time with my aunt and uncle, and I remember we somehow luckily were able to all find each other there, and we were all on the same boat that took us to New Jersey. Um, and although I was so young, I have I had some like vague visual impression of what the dock in New Jersey looked like. And I remember there was, despite like the bleakness of everything that was going on, I remember a woman greeting us saying like, "Welcome to New Jersey." And I remember thinking to myself as a kid, it's like, wow, this seems like a really sunny and bright place. And on the other side, there was no more dust and smoke. So as a kid, I didn't really understand what was going on. I was like, oh wow, we're somewhere fun. Um, and this past year, I was watching a documentary that was about the boat evacuation of 9/11. I had never seen footage from it actually, and when I saw the footage for the first time since that year, I realized like a lot of the scenery was like it like triggered a flashback to what I remembered of the visual impression of the dock in New Jersey. So I realized that it was a actual memory I had, because I was for the longest time I wasn't sure if it was something I had made up in my head over the years or if I actually remembered what it looked like. But I realized like, oh, as even as a 3 year old, there was some visual impressions I had from that day. So yeah, over the years I couldn't really understand the events when I was that young, but over the years it's been interesting to sort of reflect on the events I had experienced as a kid and realize that, oh my gosh, this is a historic event that I had lived through and has an impact on my generation for all of my generation. So like that has been something I'm still grappling with and like struggling to comprehend. But I hope like my generation can learn from some of the good positive aspects that came out of the tragedy. Like for example, like the unity and resilience. And I think that's also reflected in how we're dealing with new challenges our generation will face. Like like COVID was an example of needing the same resilience, and also dealing with new challenges like who knows, whatever, like climate change or whatever our generation will face. But I hope like to channel this experience I had as a kid from 9/11 to be a to contribute to my generation and have a have a have the same strength that that got like New Yorkers through that experience 20 years ago. So Yeah, yeah. That's all I have to say. So, yeah.